What if I told you that after a few days of not eating, aka fasting, that's the actual easy part, but the hardest part comes after? Let me share with you what really happened. Now, if you are even thinking about doing a few-day fast, a few-day water fast, you need to watch this video till the end because something happens after fasting that I don't see many people talking about at all that can actually be fatal if you're not aware of it or if you do it wrong. Now, before I get into that, let me get you up to speed as to where I was when I did the fast and why I did it. Because I think it's crucial for you to understand the journey that led me to that, because I want you to learn from my experience. And first, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Lex Vuko. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I have been in health and fitness industry for over 20 years now. I've trained in amateur bodybuilding, boxing, kickboxing. I've damaged my body through hypothyroidism, through hormonal imbalance, and I got my body finally back in balance where I feel fit, feel healthy, and feel great. And I'm here to share all the information with you that I share with my clients where I help them lose weight and feel like they're at a 10 daily. So, if you're someone who wants to feel great every day, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the little notification so you get notified every time a new video comes out, because I always make sure to answer your questions in my content so that you get the best information at the shortest time. Okay, let's get into it. So when I was in fitness, we were brainwashed to think that we need to eat 5 to 6 small meals every 2 hours. These were tiny meals and I was miserable. So when I first heard about fasting, I was like, no, that cannot work. There's no way that can be good for our body. I was so deep into fitness, and at that moment, I was not open-minded. But me being me, I wanted to learn new things, experiment, and therefore I read about it and gave it a go. Now, even when you're starting a fast, you have to leave diet mindset behind. And I have a whole video dedicated to how to get started and actually succeed in fasting and get the benefits of it long term. So make sure to check that video out after this one, as it will give you more information how to do it gently, aka slowly. So again, when I started fasting and experimenting on my body, I started doing it really slowly. I started skipping one meal, seeing how hungry I am, noticing if I'm feeling hangry and so on. And then I started shrinking my eating window, testing a 10-hour fast and then a 12, 14-hour fast, 18-hour fast. And then I got to doing one meal a day. And this is over a course of a few months. I started eating one meal a day, which then made it a 23, 24-hour fast. And then on occasion, I would even skip that meal to actually go through like a 36-hour and even 48-hour fasts. And I think this is important for you to understand if you're ever thinking about doing a longer fast, because you need to test your body. Your body kind of has to get used to that before you jump into like a 3, 4, 7-day fast. So after I did this, like a 18, 24, 36, even a 48-hour fast, a couple times over a course of, let's say, 6 to 8 months, I decided to read up on longer fasts because I kept hearing about the benefits of them, but I never really dared to do it up until that point. So I read about it more, I watched more videos on it, I started getting even more knowledge on how to do a longer fast. And then I decided to go for it. I figured, well, I've already done like a 48-hour fast. It wasn't that bad. So let's see how this is going to go. Now, I chose summer because that's the time when you're mostly outside. It's sunny, it's hot, you don't really feel like eating much anyway. And I was busy with my work and with the kid activities in the summer. And I thought it was the perfect time. But I told myself, I'm going to go for a 7-day water fast. However, I can get out anytime. And this is important for you to hear in case you're like me and you think that you are all or nothing kind of person and you are hardcore doing things. Because it was very important for me to know it's not like I failed. It's that I'm testing things to see what's best for my body. Day 1, no problem. Again, at that point, I ate one meal a day. It was no big deal for me. Day 2, it's where most people complain about hunger. They'll tell you that in a longer fast, if you manage to go through day 2, you're fine. Day 2, I actually wasn't even hungry. Maybe because I've already done the 48-hour fast, or maybe because I kept myself busy, but I just don't remember feeling hungry at all, even on day 2. Day 3 is, according to everything I read or listened to, is where I was supposed to start having more energy, right? Like it's normal to feel lower energy day 1 and day 2, but on day 3, your body's making ketones already. You're supposed to get that energy high. You're supposed to be burning fat for energy. That's where most people report mental clarity and just feeling great. And they say by day 3, you feel like you can do it forever. That being said, I did not have more energy on day 3. I just noticed feeling worse. I noticed feeling less and less energy and just more and more tired and all these things that I was not supposed to feel like based on what I read. I felt sluggish. I just wanted to sleep. And that didn't feel right to me. So I went to day 4 to just give it a chance to see if my energy is going to go up, and nada. After day 4 is when I started going back to food. And before I get into the critical information here that can actually be fatal or make you end in a hospital, I want to talk about all the lessons of my failed 7-day water fast. 1, stay busy. I've learned that if I'm just sitting at home and it's wintertime and it's dark and I want to snack on things, that is not the best time to do any kind of a fast. But because I stayed busy and it was summer and I was feeling hot and I wasn't around kitchen, it was actually really easy not to think about food. So when you're picking the time to do this, make sure you're picking the right season for yourself. Lesson 2 is don't just jump into it. This would have been way different and way harder for me and probably would have ended up in a hospital if I didn't prepare my body for this. If I haven't tried a 16, 18, 24, 36, 48-hour fast before that. Once again, even in a 48-hour fast, I would never recommend anybody just do it out of nowhere. First, you want to shrink that eating window and then get your body adjusted to the shifting. And this is especially true if you eat a lot of processed foods. Processed foods affect our body differently. We feel hangry, our blood sugar drops, and nothing good can come out of it. This is why you want to ease into fasting before even thinking about a few-day fast. Now, if you need more information on how to get started, what to expect on the first day of fast, or any details around how to get going on that, I do have a whole playlist on intermittent fasting on my channel, so make sure to check that out after this video. Lesson number 3, prepare my body and my thyroid before doing a longer fast. See, the reason I feel like I was sluggish on day 3 and 4 and why my energy never picked up is I think that my thyroid went back to slowing down. I have a history of hypothyroidism, and people who've had it in the past are more likely to get it again. And I never really thought about it. I really thought it would actually make it better. So I definitely would pay attention to taking more iodine, magnesium supplements, and all my thyroid supplements before I would go on the fast to make sure that I'm giving my body all the proper nutrients even beforehand. Now remember, where you get your supplements really matters, because even the same company can make a different formula for, let's say, Walmart, Costco, or somewhere else. This is why you want to be very cautious about your supplements. I'm not on thyroid medication, but I do take supplements for it to help it function in a better way. And if you're interested in reading more about the supplements that I take, I'll leave all the links in the description below. Lesson number 4, I kind of mentioned earlier, but it's very important to really take it seriously, and that is talking to myself throughout the fast to let myself know I'm doing a 7-day fast, but I can stop at any time. I don't like the term quit, therefore I never said quit to myself. I said I can stop at any time, I can start eating at any time. And again, this is especially true for those souls that are like me, that feel like I'm a goal or nothing kind of person. When I sign up for something, I do it. Health first, okay? Maybe, just maybe, sometimes it's better to stop and not damage your health rather than to push through with our egos, which tell us, no, you can do this, you got to finish this, you got to go big or go home. Because you have to take into consideration what the cost is, and if your health is at cost, it's not worth it. Lesson number, I believe we're at 5, is hydration. See, I drank only water. What I would have done differently is add a pinch of real sea salt to my water so that it gives me all the natural electrolytes and minerals that come with it. Even though it's supposed to be a water-only fast, if you think about how water used to be and where natural water is, it's full of minerals. So without proper intake of minerals and electrolytes, your electrolytes go out of balance and you feel more tired. So it's quite possible that it wasn't just my thyroid. It's quite possible that I did not give myself enough minerals, aka electrolytes. So what I would do next time is add a pinch of real sea salt, and remember, it needs to be real sea salt. I have a link below to the actual Celtic sea salt that is full of minerals. And lesson number 6, I believe we're at, is medical conditions. Now, I will first say that I, at that point, did not have thyroid issue, but I didn't count on the fact that it can reoccur. But I will also say that if you do have an underlying medical condition, I would really highly advise you to consult a healthcare provider that actually knows about your particular medical issue and fasting. If you just go to a straight up Western medicine practitioner, they typically don't know enough about fasting and the benefits of them. So it's very important that they know about both, that they have experience about both, because things like diabetes type 2 is reversible through proper fasting. Things like high blood pressure is reversible through proper fasting. This is why you would need proper doctor guidance. And this is what I would have done differently next time. I would take my blood work and thyroid numbers before I start fasting, and I would take them daily as I fast, and I would take them after my fast. That way I would have a clear picture of what's really going on with my body each day of the fast. Now, knowing what I know about my body and recognizing the signs, again, I do believe it was due to my thyroid. However, due to some experts that I've listened to on longer fasts, it could actually be that it was due to mitochondria and cell cleansing, and that it could have gotten better after a few days. But because I didn't take my tests before, I didn't want to risk it and damage my body further. And lesson number 7, I believe we're at, which is the most important lesson, is the hardest comes after the fast. And I need you to hear me loud and clear on this, because again, people have ended up in hospital because of this, and this can actually be fatal. After day 3, your digestive tract shuts down because there's no food coming in, and it doesn't need to use energy from the body to digest the food. So when you introduce the food back after day 4, 5, 6, 20, and if your electrolytes are out of whack, you can experience what's called a refeeding syndrome. Basically, your electrolytes are out of whack, your body's trying to make you balance them through eating, and all you want to do is eat, but you can't because you need to slowly wake up your digestive system, which means on the first day that you start eating, you should only have a few spoonfuls of something like chicken broth soup or vegetable broth soup to slowly start waking up your digestive tract and to stabilize your electrolytes. But this is what's really hard, because it sounds easy in theory. Okay, well, I'll just have a few spoonfuls, and the next day I'll have more, and the next day I'll have more. This is where it gets really hard, because all you want to do in that moment is eat. So this is the time to actually stay really busy, stay away from food, any food parties or anything where you have easy access to food. And this is where people overeat. This is where people binge. And this is again where they can get introduced to the refeeding syndrome. This can result in high blood pressure, difficulty breathing, fatigue, weakness, confusion, irregular heartbeat, and again, it can result even in death. This is why it's important to not just jump into fasting just like we would into dieting. Now, I knew about refeeding syndrome because I was competing in amateur bodybuilding back in the day, and I've heard of people ending up in hospitals because of binging after competition. People have really low sodium in their body and their electrolytes are all screwed up. I keep telling you, that sport is not healthy at all. Even though I knew I need to eat a little, I overate a bit, and it caused so much of my stomach ache, and it took a while for my digestive tract to wake up. If I didn't know any of this, if I wasn't aware of it, the chances are that I would have even more of stomach troubles or even end up in a hospital. And this is why it's so important to know what you're doing. You don't want to jump into any kind of fasting. You want to ease your way into fasting. You want to listen to your body. You want to listen to your body's cues. You want to consult someone who really knows about your body and fasting. And you want to set up a plan for after you start eating. I'm telling you, this is so hard. It probably takes 3 to 4 days to get back to normal eating after a longer fast. So as you see, fasting, whether it's intermittent fasting throughout the day or throughout the week or a few day fasts, can be done wrong and go very wrong, or can be done right and have amazing benefits on your body. This is why you always want to start with gentle fasting. This is why you don't want to go all in or all out. It's not all or nothing kind of situation. This is about you connecting with your body, learning about your body, learning to read your body's cues and know to give it the right kind of nutrients when it needs it. To learn more about how to gently fast, I have a whole video dedicated to that. Please watch that video after this one to know how to properly fast without applying it like a diet and how to get the benefits without any drawbacks. And as always, if you have any medical conditions, please consult someone in healthcare who knows about your particular medical condition and fasting. And I'll see you next time.